let's talk about it. Auburn loses to Oklahoma 27-21.
Yes.
Not too far off from my score. I had a 24-23 victory for Oklahoma.
Okay.
So I was in
You're there. Yeah.
ballpark, the right outcome, a little bit further away from the points. What did you think about it? Did you think this was going to be a win before everything started going down? Like, how were you feeling about it?
I thought Auburn would have more of a chance in this game leading up to the weekend than a lot of people, I think. It just felt like some of the things that have been decided, like Oklahoma starting a true freshman, and then Auburn kind of looking like they've solidified starting Peyton Thorne and sticking with him, the more experienced quarterback for this game. And then the injury report everyone liked to talk about Oklahoma not being down all their receivers. It was kind of like I think Auburn, there's Jordan Hare then obviously as well. I think Auburn has a chance to play better in this game than some people think. And so I did. I think my score prediction actually within our family group was 28-20 Auburn, which switched was the other outcome. But I think that I had some good optimism.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this in past episodes, but I was not even in the city this weekend. My sister-in-law got married to her longtime Auburn man. Another Auburn couple teams up.
Congrats to them.
So congrats to Olivia and Drew. It was a very fun wedding with lots of Auburn people involved. But so we were keeping up with it a little bit. But I had some good optimism about the game. But just one of those kind of like the Arkansas game going into it was like, I don't know what's going to happen.
I think there's obvious trends the entire day because you saw the line, if you're into that, go back to Auburn very minusculely. So I think everybody bought into that. And can we just be honest here, folks? And I've thought about this too. And I don't even know that I bought into this narrative to start off in our reaction show as well. Is it fair to say that there was improvement yesterday?
Oh,
not talking about the result, but I'm talking
100%. That's something I'll get into it now. I was going to mention it later if it came up, but I think, and I'm stealing this from a national writer I saw this morning. I apologize because I don't remember your name, but he said something along the lines of, I know it's not easy to be patient right now, but I think that there has to be a level of tolerance or requirement for patience because Auburn's been in every game so far. And I know that that's not what we love to hear of moral victories and all that nonsense, but Auburn's been in every game. And really, I think, at least minimally has improved in every game along the way. I'm really looking at Power 5 opponents.
Yeah.
And so I know they haven't won any of those games. I totally understand that. And if you think that that's not nothing, then that's your own prerogative. But when I saw the stat line for Peyton Thorne at the end of the day yesterday with 21 for 32, 330 plus yards and 3 touchdowns. Is it unfair to say that might have been Peyton Thorne's best game as an Auburn Tiger from stats perspective?
I'd have to go back and look at it, but I don't know that there's too many that can
rival it. There's a bunch, that stat line should be enough to win you a football game. I know he had the interception. I know how costly the interception was.
And we agree
I totally
how costly it is.
Get that. But I think you have to look at that stat line. Let's just say 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, 330 yards. I think we would all, after the last 4 weeks, would take that no matter who's the quarterback each week. So I think there's been improvement. I think that Auburn played well. The total yards is doubled of Oklahoma's. There's just really some pinpoint specific mistakes that ended up leading to Auburn losing the game. And you look at the interception return, look at the missed field goals. I'm not getting onto the kid, and I'm not going to badger a kid for missing field goals. That happens too much, and if you're doing that, you have bigger problems.
Is there really
discussed?
Is there serious people giving that kid crap?
I don't know about Auburn. I'm just saying that happens. It feels like every time we have college kickers.
I hope not, because I will confine you as a fellow kicker and do something.
Yes,
I will kick you.
Yes. But I think there's as the head coach said, there's fault on his end that with play calling and in certain situations that he should have done better in. So I think that you have to be and I hate to use this word because some people are gonna be like, what are you talking about? We're 2-3. I think you have to be optimistic in some sense that there's been improvement and that things seem to be moving in a small trajectory upward for Auburn on the field. Now you have to clean up the mistakes if you want to win games. But I'm hopeful that this is a sign that there's things that Auburn can do this season that can surprise people. It stinks to only win 2 of your first 5 home games. There, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But there's things that are show signs in Auburn's favor. I think you have to look at the fact that so many young freshmen and young recruits Hugh Freeze has brought in.
Yeah,
played very well yesterday.
And I think people love the idea of 5 stars and all Absolutely. That stuff, and it looks great on paper. But I think sometimes people aren't able to take away the emotion of that and think about the reality of that. Not Correct. Every 5-star is going to play like a 5-star to start the game. I know when you continue to watch other places and then reflect, which is how we got into this position that we are currently in from a decision we made 4 years ago, looking across the state and other places as well. But things take time, and it's the reality of the thing that the collective, not all of us, said that we wanted, that we were tired of mediocrity.
Yes.
That I'm telling you, I had this conversation with a family member. He may even be watching right now. I think that is the most uninformed and just low energy take that anybody can consistently have. Now, I'm fine with having that conversation about, you know what, let's be done with it. I don't even need to talk about that angle anymore. We're talking about Oklahoma game, but you get where I'm going with
100%. And it's not acceptable to lose 3 of your first 5 home games to start the year, and
it
all
is
of them be FBS opponents. It's unacceptable. We're not saying that it is acceptable, but I think that I think there has been signs of improvement, and that is a moral victory. I totally understand that, but I think when you're in year 2 of a rebuild, because this is a rebuild, folks, you have to take those wins. And I'm not finished with this team. I think there's hope for them. I think they can still show that they can win any game. And I think Oklahoma was a good test, and one that they performed well against for the majority of the game.
3.5 quarters.
Correct.
Very close to pulling out a victory. And I hope it's not lost that we are not in any way condoning or happy about Peyton Thorne making that mistake. No. I also think you brought it up earlier that there were coaching decisions that went into that. And that's not even us just saying that, looking to put blame. That's the coach saying that. So we're not saying anything that the coaches haven't already discussed.
He took the blame.
And took the blame. Like he already did kind of, but people ignore that.
Yes, correct.
It's interesting. Where some of y'all get your opinions from is very entertaining, and it shows sometimes that you don't do the homework to go actually listen and read thoroughly and ask the question, and is what I am ingesting the correct way I should be taking it.
It's a longer press conference than just a couple sentences.
Yeah, sound bites do not tell the whole story.
Yes,
but the sound bites usually do. Look, Oklahoma game, I honestly didn't think we were going to win.
Sure.
The fact that we were in the game and in control of the game for as long as we were, I thought was a pleasant surprise. So I think it's fair to say that there was improvement. Still humongous frustrations. The biggest issue for Auburn is turnovers.
Yep.
I thought the defense, outside of a few missed tackles early, containing that quarterback outside of one run.
Right.
Now, look, when that guy ran for that touchdown to start off the game, we all went, here we go,
Here we go. I thought the same thing.
And then, it was like the light switch went off for the defense, for the offense as well. And Peyton Thorne was playing out of his mind.
Well, adjustments were made prior to halftime.
Yeah.
On defensively. And it looks that I think those are things that if you are just so focused on the negative, you can't see those changes, those positive changes like that, then I think you are going to have a miserable season. But I don't think it has to be that way.